On this week's episode of Bayou Wild TV.
So we're going to keep dropping Sam. Sam, stop. Lance, stop. So. He's better.
Let's break that streak. So I had Don and Lance in my boat today. Don listened from the get-go, did what he was supposed to. He only missed, I think, 312, but caught pretty much half of those, maybe.
Oh, he came back and got you. Nice.
Yes, sir. Holy moly.
Look at that fish.
All right, Roman, tell me, what do y'all call this fish up here in Toledo Bend?
We call that a bass, so that is a striped bass.
Whoa. Let's start this over again.
So we have heard it all types of ways. We hear accolades, we hear crappie, we hear white perch. I actually had some people from Philadelphia come one time, they called it a speck. Not very common. I call them a accolade.
Well, one thing we all call it is delicious.
Delicious.
We're going to show you how to catch them up here in Toledo Bend.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Global Outdoors. Find your next adventure and share your experiences with others by downloading the Global Outdoors mobile app or visiting globaloutdoors.com.
Every day, we strive to preserve traditions that have spanned generations.
Around every turn of the bayou, Mother Nature reveals unique people, places, and experiences.
And the bounty of animals and fish. Well, in Louisiana, we just call that lagniappe. I'm Don Dubuque.
I'm Chris LeCoq.
I'm Captain Martha Spencer. Join us as we document the adventure,
Sportsmanship,
and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
On a previous episode of Bayou Wild TV,
fished some tournaments around here on Toledo and Rayburn, had some success for a couple of years, and so just had some friends want me to take them out, just kind of show them what I was doing to catch these tournament quality fish. And so I took some friends out, and they told their friends, and they told their friends, and next thing I knew was about every week somebody was calling me to take them fishing. So in 2015, I kind of made that call. I was like, I'm really going to invest in doing this and guiding. And
So we really had a great time. Toledo Bend lived up to the billing, caught some great bass. We will certainly want to come back and spend some more time with these guys and enjoy everything Toledo Bend has to offer.
picking up where we left off, we're back on the bend. And with such a vast fishery, it's always good to seek out local knowledge.
Right, tell me where the fish are. Where are they? Which way? That way? That way? You know, help. How about you? You got some fishing tips?
Well, not quite that local. This is what we've got in mind. Hitting the water equipped with the expertise of Bent Ride's guide service for more insightful and relaxing fishing fun.
They like going up underneath there in that little pocket underneath that brush.
So you see him coming up slow? You want to see one dart up. You might hear in a minute. Or not. Go back down, Lance. So none chased him that time.
Sometimes with a jig, it's like anything, you kind of want to twitch it sometimes, but most of the time, like that slow lift up, that's what they want. And a lot of times with the live scope now, you can see how they react. So you'll know pretty quick whether you need to lift it up slow, keep it still, twitch it.
The one and only Louisiana Sportsman Show, presented by Shell and LaPlace, March 28th through 30th at the St. John Community Center and surrounding park. Same show, new location. Vendors from Louisiana and other states on hand offering great deals on fishing and hunting gear, boats, tractors, RVs, and much more. First responders, veterans, and those in the military get free admission on Friday. Parking's free for all. Plan to join the one and only Louisiana Sportsman Show, presented by Shell, March 28th through 30th in LaPlace, sponsored by Louisiana Land Bank.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
In Louisiana, food brings everyone together. These are the flavors that make friends out of total strangers. The flavors that remind you of home. It's the meals you crave, that take time, that show love. Because in Louisiana, we cook. And we know that when we come together to cook and eat, life gets better. So pull up a chair, leave room for seconds, and pass a good time. Because life needs Louisiana flavor, baby.
Delta Marina is Plaquemines Parish fishing one-stop. Get live bait, fuel, ice, tackle, and marine supplies. Then launch into the world's most productive saltwater fishing. Return to the fishing cleaning station, relax in first-class cabins overlooking the bayou, all in Delta Marina's safety video-monitored parking lot. Need a fishing charter guide? Delta Marina can hook you up. Cook your catch in your kitchenette or dine in the upstairs restaurant. Visit Delta Marina for a day or a week. Stop in just off Highway 11 down Rosemary Drive in Empire. Visit thedeltamarina.com.
One of the reasons why Double D has been around for 50 years is because we are consistent with what built the business. And we go to great lengths to make sure that when you bring a deer or a hog or whatever it may be, your meat stays your meat all the way through the process. But we want to be as true to the original intent, which is a local meat company. And that's something that we want to maintain for as long as the Lord lets us do it.
Become a supporter of the Louisiana Wildlife Agents Association today by visiting supportlwaa.org. Browse the selection of exclusive gear, including t-shirts in a variety of colors and styles, plus hats, koozies, and more. Gear up today and support the LWAA.
All right, it's been a while, but we're here. The world-renowned fishery of Toledo Bend, and we're after them perch. Come on. Toledo Bend Lake Country is a real jewel in the crown of Louisiana outdoor sources. This was converted into a big reservoir years ago. From there it just took off. The development's been taking place, and I've been coming up here for about 25 years. I don't get up here near as often as I like.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one here. Look at this guy here. Pretty. That's a good one.
White perch fishing on Toledo Bend, it can be nothing like it sometimes. But I got to tell you, if you come up here and you use the techniques you're using on Lake Verret, False River, the Pearl, Tickfaw, any of those areas with mini spinner baits and your tube jigs on the popping corks or maybe even a sliding cork, it's not going to work. But what will work is what Roman's going to tell you how to catch them.
One of the ways we have them trigger is you're triggering a bite. Just leaving it in front of them, bouncing in front of them, they're not going to be very aggressive. They're going to be a little lethargic. So one of the best techniques for after a front, and actually what we've seen after the fronts this year in particular, is whenever we get down to the depth, which crappie feet up, so we want to stay even with them or slightly above them. So when we get to that depth, it's just a slow, slow, slow up approach. So if you go this fast and you continue to go fast, they're not aggressive enough right after a front to come up and get it. So the slower you're better on that technique.
Hey, let's get Don or something. Hey, that's a better one too, man. There you go.
Look at that. Black accolades.
They have like
beautiful
different
fish.
colors depending on the...
We kind of mix it up every trip. We kind of throw some jigs, we throw some shiners, whichever one's biting. Some days they bite the jig better, some days they bite the shiner better. The colors, that always matters. It's just like bass fishing, you got to go through your colors. We went through before, this morning we went through 7 or 8 different colors before we found one that worked.
This is cross crack jigs, cross crappie crack jigs, I'm sorry. So one of our guys with Bent Rod's Guide Service actually makes all my hair jigs. So he makes this for me. His phone number and everything is on the actual logo on the box. And then, you know, he's made me hundreds and hundreds of jigs. So this is what we use out on the water when shiners aren't technically benefiting. Go to these babies right here.
And what we did up here today was we learned a very way to fish for these fish using a finesse technique, something that probably wouldn't work in most areas and is pretty difficult to achieve. But when you get it down and you're with the guys that know how to do it and have proven from years and years of experience, you can produce a really nice catch, which we did today.
Hey, real quick, both of y'all reel up there in the straight front now, in front of the trolling motor. Reach out there as far as you can. Don't cast, just reach out. Yep.
The jigs, like you say, they kind of worked a little bit better today, I think, with the bigger fish, the shiners, and then some days it's just the opposite. But most of the time it's just a slow lift up. The jigs we do like too, if we get some people that can cast real well, we like to throw it out on past the pile, then let it drift over it. That works really well. Today with the wind, we wasn't able to do that as well as we'd like to, but there is times that that's really the best technique with the jig for sure.
All right, look at that. All right, all my friends down there in South Louisiana and Mississippi along the Great Gulf Coast fishing those speckled trout, eat your heart out. Difference in fishing white perch, accolade, crappie, whatever you want to call them, up here in Toledo Bend versus down in South Louisiana. Down there you're going to be fishing a lot shallower water, you're going to be fishing a lot of natural structure, and you're also going to be fishing with a different technique. You're going to be using fast moving baits.
Put on that shiner, boys. It's a good one too.
Spinner baits work there, tube jigs, sometimes you can put them under a cork. Here they're more in the open water, they're on the brush piles and some of these man-made structures that attract and hold these fish. But the biggest difference again is you gotta fish them with finesse. It's very light tap. These fish are not gonna pull the pole out of your hand like they will in a lot of other areas.
Whoop, holla, woo!
He's not bad.
Nice crappie. John moves left a little bit.
Another good one.
When we went there. Right there. Yeah, he's big.
Oh yeah. Look at that.
Right here. Way to go, babe. Oh.
Now, Bent Rod's Guide Service employs a number of guides. All of them are knowledgeable, but they'll do different types of fishing. If you've got a family that wants to get out and catch some of the white perch and have something to take home and cook, you got it.
That's him. That is him. Finally, break the streak.
You're 1 for 412.
Let's kiss. We might have to kiss this guy. Let's break that streak.
But we had a great time. Don definitely won today. 100%. Sorry, Lance, love you. But Don definitely won today. Don was wrecking shop today.
Yes, sir. Holy moly.
Look at that fish. And it's a great fishery for not just the numbers, but the quality of fish. And Bent Rod's Guide Service goes the extra mile to make sure that you're going to take part in it and have the right gear and go to the right places. And when you get there, use the right technique.
You got any net, Don?
It's got it deep.
I don't think.
Nah, a little bit on in here.
So I had Don and Lance in my boat today. Don listened from the get-go, did what he was supposed to. He only missed, I think, 312, but caught pretty much half of those, maybe.
Oh, he came back and got you. Nice.
He paid the price.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, if I get a picture of Eve.
No, no, no.
They decided they wanted to eat.
Get him in there.
Ready?
Yeah. Get him sideways.
In Louisiana, food brings everyone together. These are the flavors that make friends out of total strangers. The flavors that remind you of home. It's the meals you crave, that take time, that show love. Because in Louisiana, we cook. And we know that when we come together to cook and eat, life gets better. So pull up a chair, leave room for seconds, and pass a good time. Because life needs Louisiana flavor, baby.
This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today. You're watching Bayou Wild TV, award-winning outdoor programming. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or visit the website BayouWildTV.com to watch past episodes.
Hi, I'm Olivia Grace George, Miss Louisiana 2024. Did you know that Louisiana is one of the world's leading producers of propane gas? Of course, it's used for cooking, cleaning clothes, and heating homes, but it's always been used on farms and businesses across our state, as well as school buses and light-duty trucks. As America looks to cleaner, greener alternative fuels for our future, Louisiana's propane dealers stand ready to meet the need. For more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today we're going to prepare Louisiana Fish Fry's Baja air-fried fish tacos. What we're starting off with here is some of our sac-a-lait white perch that we picked up on our trip to Lake Verret. And what we're doing is we're dipping it into the Louisiana Fish Fry fish air fryer batter. Get it all nice and battered up here. And we preheated our air fryer to 370 degrees, and we're going to give it about 15 minutes. Now we got to check it though, because this recipe is good for just about any type of white flaky fish. You could do redfish, you could do speckled trout, probably snapper, halibut, just about anything. And depending on the coarseness and thickness of the fish, that might determine your cook time. And then you get your air fryer basket, spray it a little bit with some kind of a butter non-stick spray. It'll also help the fish from sticking. But what's really good about this is there's no oil, there's no mess, no grease to deal with. Air frying is very clean frying. And once you get them all set in there with a little space between them, just get your basket ready, take it to your air fryer, set it at 370 degrees. We're going to let this go for about 15 minutes. Might check it a little bit in between to make sure for doneness. And we're going to take it out and assemble our fish tacos. So our fish is now air fried and ready to build our tacos. Now what we've done on the taco shell, the tortillas, is put a layer of shredded cabbage. Then to the shredded cabbage, we're going to put some of our fish pieces, nice and crispy fried up. And we're going to be real generous with this sac-a-lait. I'll tell you what, that is one of the finest freshwater fish you're ever going to taste. Is a sac-a-lait, white perch, crappie. Some people call them crappie. All right, so now we got our fish there. Next thing we want to put on here is our avocado. We want to take a couple of slices of nice avocado. This adds a really nice little taste to it. Put those there along on the tacos. And then, now cheese is optional. I'm a big fan of cheese. Some people don't like the idea of cheese and fish, that it doesn't quite go together. Well, I'm a believer in that fish and cheese and cheese and cheese and everything else just about go together. So you sprinkle your cheese. This is a mixture of Mexican cheeses. It's made specifically for putting on tacos. Now this concoction here is a taco sauce. I mixed the Louisiana fish fry fish sauce with about 1/4 cup of sour cream, and instead of just salt and pepper, fire it up a little bit with Louisiana fish fry shake. This is a great all-around replacement for salt and pepper. And you just take this and just kind of drizzle it over your taco, kind of generously, covering the avocado and the fish. Yep, makes plenty. And then once you get it ready to go there, just one last step, and that's put a couple of lime slices with your tacos. And there you have it. That is your Louisiana fish fry, Baja air fried fish tacos.
We love our children. We protect them. We guide them. We prepare them for life in the world. With all that we do, from deep in our hearts, we cannot control all things. Life-threatening illnesses and disabilities affect far too many of our children each year. While we cannot change the circumstance, we can make dreams come true. Dreams to provide hope, to provide spiritual healing and strength, to provide moments of happiness and relief in the hardest of times. We can give a glimmer of light and hope in a time of darkness and despair. Join huntofalifetime.org to help make dreams come true, to provide hope for children with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Hunt of a Lifetime is a non-profit organization fulfilling dreams for hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Visit huntofalifetime.org to learn how you can make a difference.
The one and only Louisiana Sportsman Show, presented by Shell in LaPlace, March 28th through 30th at the St. John Community Center and surrounding park. Same show, new location. Vendors from Louisiana and other states on hand offering great deals on fishing and hunting gear, boats, tractors, RVs, and much more. First responders, veterans, and those in the military get free admission on Friday. Parking's free for all. Plan to join the one and only Louisiana Sportsman Show, presented by Shell, March 28th through 30th in LaPlace, sponsored by Louisiana Land Bank.
If you're lucky enough to bag a deer or a hog this season, bring it here to Double D. Double D processes hogs and exotic game and guarantees your product is always the meat you brought to Double D.
Double D Meats in Bogalusa, home of country smoked, spicy jalapeno cheddar, and other customized flavors.
Bring your deer or your hog here to Double D, where you always get your meat back in return. It's worth a drive to Bogalusa from anywhere. Double D.
Welcome to White Oak Estate and Gardens, home of my distillery on Jones Creek. In the grist mill, corn is ground, then poured into the copper stills, filled with water and yeast added. Days later, still water bourbon is placed into charred oak barrels where it ages. Likewise, raw brown sugar and water blend to create our still water rum. Purchase these boutique vintages beginning December the 1st exclusively at White Oak.
Become a supporter of the Louisiana Wildlife Agents Association today by visiting supportlwaa.org. Browse the selection of exclusive gear, including t-shirts in a variety of colors and styles, plus hats, koozies, and more. Gear up today and support the LWAA. When it comes to fishing, there's no shortage of gadgets available to help give an angler the upper hand. And love it or hate it, one thing is certain, fishing technology such as LiveScope is here to stay.
I do a lot of electronic stuff out here, teaching people to find fish using their side imaging, down imaging, 2D sonar, and now LiveScope. Do a lot of training in customers' boats, setting up their electronics, and just teach them to, use what they have to find and catch more fish.
But it's not just a device that makes a good fisherman. The guides at Bent Rod's Guide Service are first class when it comes to sharing a lifetime of fishing knowledge with guests.
We offer bass and crappie trips here on Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn. We do bass and crappie on both. We recently got a Bent Rod's Hideaway, which is a little lodge, a little place for people to come stay at if they want to stay.
A lot of the events that go on up here is outside of fishing. I mean, there's golfing. A lot of people bring their businesses, their corporations up here, and they have conferences and things, and there's a lot of places to accommodate that. So it's really kind of a multifaceted area, and the really nice thing is it's separated from the big cities. If you want to get out of the big city mentality, Toledo Bend is a place to come.
So if it's a weekend getaway, day fishing trip, or extended stay, consider exploring Toledo Bend Lake Country and the abundance of adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage of Bayou Wild.